Welcome, everyone. If you happen to be watching the silver market these days, you're seeing some things that, well, veterans are saying they've just never seen before. It's pretty strange.
Yeah, the whole pricing structure seems, completely upside down. And the physical supply chain, it looks like it's really grinding to a halt in places.
It's definitely not your typical market swings. It feels more like a systemic warning light flashing bright red across precious metals.
Exactly. We're looking at some analysis today that really digs into how let's call it the financial plumbing, especially the paper market side, seems to be, well, coming apart.
Right. We're focusing on the latest insights from Andy Schekman, particularly his description of these extreme red flags, things like historic backwardation, vaults looking empty, and these crazy lease rates.
Our goal here is really to pull out those key warning signs he's highlighting.
Yeah, to try and understand what this all means for silver, for gold, and maybe even for the US dollar long term.
It's definitely complex. You've got multiple things breaking down at once, and figuring out the mechanics behind it is, well, it's crucial right now.
Couldn't agree more. So, look, if you want to quickly get up to speed on what might really be happening behind all the headlines, please hit that subscribe button now.
Yeah, definitely subscribe, CREDVIA. It helps you stay informed, especially as this whole situation seems to be moving faster and faster.
Okay, let's get into it. Maybe start with the weirdest signal out there right now, backwardation.
Right.
Now, usually for people who follow commodities, the normal state is something called contango. Can you maybe just quickly remind us what contango usually means for metals?
Sure. Contango is just the normal way things work. It means the price for a futures contract, say you want silver delivered 6 months from now, that price is a bit higher than the price for getting it right now, the spot price.
Okay, and that small difference, maybe 20 or 40 cents usually.
Yeah, around there. It basically covers the cost of carry.
Meaning like the cost to store the metal, insure it.
Exactly. And the interest you could have earned on that money if you hadn't bought the metal yet, like an implied interest rate.
Makes sense. If I pay you $10 today for silver, but you hold it for me for a year, I should probably pay you a little extra, like $10.25 for your trouble.
That's it. That's a healthy market. It's predictable.
But the sources we're looking at are talking about the deepest backwardation ever recorded, so the whole thing's flipped.
Completely flipped. The spot price cash for metal right now is way higher than the futures price.
And just how big is this difference, and what's it telling us?
Well, the gap is apparently pretty shocking. And it seems to be linking the big markets, COMEX and London, in ways we haven't seen.
Wow.
When backwardation gets this severe, it means the market only cares about one thing: getting the physical metal immediately.
It's like screaming, give me the bars now.
Pretty much. Give me the bars now. I'll pay more for them now than your paper promise for later, because I don't trust you'll actually have them later. It screams inventory problems, series shortages.
And you can see the fear in the prices, right? Gold breaking past $4,100, silver jumping over $53. It's not just theory.
No, this stress is hitting the real world hard. The evidence of a supply crunch is just, well, it's overwhelming.
Like what? What are we seeing?
We're hearing that almost half of all the silver dealers in the U.S. have just stopped taking new orders.
Stopped completely.
Yeah, because they can't reliably get the metal themselves to fill those orders.
And it's not just small dealers, right? What about the big international players?
That's maybe even more telling. The Perth Mint in Australia, a huge global player, refiner, supplier, they've officially suspended silver sales.
Suspended sales? Why?
They're citing massive demand and a, quote, global shortage.
Wow. When an institution like the Perth Mint, with all its history, says stop, that's a huge signal.
It signals the whole distribution system is breaking down. And then you have smaller specific examples too, like commercial rare coins and precious metals. A U.S. dealer apparently froze all transactions back on October 13th, 2025.
So it shows this total disconnect between the paper price everyone quotes and actually getting your hands on the physical bars.
Exactly. There's no connection anymore.
Okay, so this scarcity, this physical squeeze, it must put incredible pressure on anyone who's betting on the price going down. The short sellers, the big banks.
Oh, immense pressure. And that brings us to another really shocking number: the borrowing costs.
You're talking about lease rates.
Yes, lease rates. That's basically the interest rate you pay if you need to borrow physical metal, usually because you sold it short and now you have to deliver it.
And normally, what are those rates like?
Tiny, like 0.5% a year, 0.5%. Very low cost in normal times.
Just the cost of doing business if you're short, but now.
Now, Forget about it. The lease rates, according to the source, have exploded to 100% annualized.
100%.
Yes, 100%. That's not just high, that's an emergency flare. It's worse than any other stressful period in market history, apparently.
So if you're a big bank short, say 50,000 ounces, and you need to borrow it to cover,
It's going to cost you an absolute fortune. It becomes prohibitively expensive. This is how shorts get squeezed out of their positions, forced to buy back at any price.
okay, so the shorts are in a world of pain with these borrowing costs. But what about the regular dealers, the ones just trying to buy and sell metal day to day? How does this affect them?
It completely breaks their business model, specifically their hedging.
How so?
Well, think about it. If I'm a dealer buying physical silver from someone walking in the over-the-counter market, I need to protect myself against the price dropping before I can sell it on.
So you hedge using futures contracts on the COMEX.
Right, that's the standard practice. But here's the problem. Because we're in this deep backwardation.
The futures price you use to hedge is lower than the physical price you just paid.
Exactly. Let's use the example given. Say the dealer just paid $10 an ounce for physical silver. But the futures contract they'd use to hedge is trading down at, say, $7.
So they lock in a $3 loss just to hedge.
Precisely. It makes no financial sense. Hedging becomes impossible, or at least incredibly costly. So what do?
They have to stop trading, hence the dealer freezes we talked about.
That's it. The paper contract, the hedge mechanism, it's become useless for managing risk in the real physical market. It's broken.
That really highlights how the paper system just isn't working as intended right now. And it kind of echoes this feeling that trust in the whole structure has been wearing thin for a while, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially thinking back to that weirdness in 2021.
Oh, absolutely. That 2021 episode was a major crack showing. You had the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, overseeing the huge London vaults.
Yeah. What did they do?
Well, in May 2021, they had to admit they'd overstated how much silver they actually had in their vaults. By a lot.
How much?
106 million ounces.
Whoa. 106 million. That's not a typo.
Not a typo. And what made it really suspicious was the timing. It lined up almost perfectly with this weird spike we saw in the holdings of SLV, the big silver ETF, during the silver squeeze frenzy back in February 2021.
The same amount. Around 106 million ounces.
Almost exactly the same amount, yeah. The analysis we're looking at heavily suggests that maybe that metal wasn't really there, or it was somehow double-counted or leveraged. Basically, paper games.
And the key thing for listeners, the real smoking gun maybe, was what happened after that admission, right?
Exactly. Soon after, the SLV ETF quietly changed its prospectus, added some new wording.
What did it say?
Essentially, a warning that demand might temporarily exceed the available supply they hold.
Which basically translates to.
We might not actually have the silver when push comes to shove. For a lot of people, that was it. Proof the paper promises were shaky, that maybe metal was being lent out or shorted against the ETF shares. That was a huge crack back then.
And what we're seeing now feels like that crack widening into a chasm.
It feels like the system is really shattering under the current pressure.
Okay, powerful connection there. Before we get into the demand side, which is also huge, just a quick reminder for everyone listening, subscribe. Sierra Ea Davia. Seriously, if these details matter to you, you don't want to miss the next update. Hit subscribe.
Please do. Okay, so demand.
Right. It's easy to just think about investors buying coins, but the sources stress that the physical shortage is deeper. It's structural. Industrial demand is a huge factor.
It's absolutely critical. Silver was recently reclassified officially as a critical mineral. Governments recognize how vital it is for modern tech.
Like solar panels, EVs.
Solar panels, electric vehicles, all kinds of electronics. That industrial demand is consistently using up more silver each year than all the mines in the world are producing. Hundreds of millions of ounces more.
That's a structural deficit. You can't just magic that away.
No, you can't. And experts are pointing to the inventories in London vaults dropping fast, plus bottlenecks in refining capacity.
Yeah.
It all just adds pressure. This isn't just speculation driving the shortage, it's real-world consumption.
And you see the investor reaction layered on top of that. I thought that anecdote Sekban shared was amazing about one big dealer taking 45 orders one day.
Yeah, that was stunning. The detail was, out of 45 orders processed that day, not one was somebody selling. Every single order was a buy order.
Nobody wants to sell their physical metal.
Nobody. It shows total
Yeah.
connection. People understand there's a liquidity crisis. They see the industrial demand, and they are holding on tight.
Hmm.
They don't want the paper. They want the real asset.
Which brings us back really to the bigger picture, this panic, this scramble for physical.
Hmm.
It's not just about silver itself, is it? It's about confidence.
Ultimately, yeah. The argument in the source material connects all this stress, the backwardation, the demand. The dealer freezes back to a fundamental loss of faith in the U.S. dollar as a reliable way to store wealth.
Skekman used that analogy. The dollar is like a
Like a melting ice cube,
just
constantly losing purchasing power because of inflation and debt.
so when the money itself is losing value.
The price of real things, things that can't be printed like gold and silver, has to go up just to keep pace. It's not necessarily that silver is going to the moon in isolation. It's that the measuring stick, the dollar, is shrinking.
So these metals are just reasserting their historical role as actual money, real value.
It's a flight to safety, a flight to quality. People are running from the depreciating currency, and the failing paper promises back to tangible assets.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. What really strikes me is how all these different signals are flashing red at the same time. The deepest backwardation ever, those 100% lease rates, half the dealers shutting down orders.
It's the convergence. It confirms this isn't just normal market noise. It feels like a genuine systemic failure, where the paper market is just totally disconnected from physical reality.
The conclusion from the analysis seems pretty blunt. The paper system is broken, its promises aren't holding up under pressure.
That seems to be the clear message.
So the big question we leave you, the listener, with is this. Is what we're seeing now just the first big step in silver finally being revalued to reflect how scarce and industrially vital it truly is?
Or is this something even bigger? The start of a global shift, a monetary reset, where physical assets, not paper promises, become the foundation again.
Something to definitely think about.
Big implications either way.
Absolutely. Look, if you want to stay informed, stay ahead of what some are calling the greatest wealth transfer in modern history, you really need this kind of insight.
So please make sure you hit subscribe, turn on those notifications.
Do it now. Subscribe. Via. Because in a market moving this fast under this much stress, the time to get prepared might be shorter than we think. Thanks for tuning in.